Well, hello everyone. We had a little bit of a delay with some technical issues with people trying to come in. I'm back. We're going to get started all over again. And the name of this webinar is Healthy Physical and Emotional Energy. It all starts at the cellular level. We have trillions of cells. One doctor recently said we have 70 trillion cells. Another scientist said we had upwards to 100 trillion. Regardless, there's a lot, and a lot can go wrong in that body of cellular energy. And this is the Healy. I'm Steve Pohlit, independent Healy representative. This device right here is the hardware that comes with the, as part of the Healy system. The hardware is the same for all editions of the Healy. And what is the difference is the programs and the apps on your phone. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as we move forward. I'd like you to remember this, minus 70 microvolts. Let's talk a little bit about that in a minute. What causes a cell to become unhealthy? So, and you'll see, let me see if I just forward, yeah. On this slide here, this green circle is a healthy cell, minus 70 microvolts. By the time it gets to this level right here, that's cellular death. So, and in between, there's sickness and disease. So this is a really important point to remember, cell membrane voltage model, okay? So let's go back here. What causes a cell to become unhealthy and ultimately die? The number one cause is stress. Number one cause. We can talk about heart disease, cancer, all kinds of issues that face people, and you can trace most of them back to stress. Now, there are contributing causes. So, for example, the dietary choices that we make. Well, if we're not making good dietary choices, that actually puts stress on our body. Disruptive sleep. Our bodies need deep sleep to recover. Simple as that. And if we're not going into a deep sleep, guess what? More stress. Inadequate movement, exercise. We're intended to move. We're intended to work our lungs and our muscles. And if we don't do that, guess what? More stress. Little or no focus on mindfulness. What does that mean? The right attitude. Certainly right now, what's going on in the world, there's a lot of fear and anxiety. That needs to be managed. And And so what we have to do is have programs to help us. Yoga is a popular exercise routine. And there's exercise at the gym, there's journaling, there's meditation, all kinds of things. You have to select what's right for you and do it. Then there's personal, professional relationship issues. We encounter people that maybe are not just the best for us at the time. Sometimes we don't have control over that. So at the moment, but it's how we view those relationships. If we view the relationship as antagonistic, meaning if they are not positive, if they are aggravating, then we need to take a look at what the cause is. Is it really the other person or is it us? So sometimes the focus needs to be on managing ourselves, and the other person really isn't a problem. All right, so we're electrical before we are chemical. Every chemical reaction starts with an electrical signal. The voltage of a healthy cell is minus 70 microvolts. And as we discussed, as we approach 50 and then 40 and 30, sickness and disease enters into the picture. The microvolts of our cells translate into frequency. Frequencies are individual. There is a range of frequencies associated with, say, our liver. Just one of the programs of Healy has over 400 frequencies for the liver. Healy prioritizes the exact frequencies needed when you run the program. Frequencies are individual. So Healy has 300,000 frequencies about. And no, not all of those are used at the same time. So for example, if I'm running a session on my liver, is it using all 400 frequencies? No, it's prioritizing the frequencies that are needed at the time that I'm running the program. Hopefully that's clear. All right, I showed you this model a little bit earlier. And again, that's hopefully that visual helps you focus on the goal. The goal is right here, a healthy cell, minus 70 microvolts. So we use frequencies to help us restore the cells that are not healthy to a healthy level. Okay, here's some things I talked a little bit about earlier in terms of a high stress environment. I've personally devoted a substantial amount of time in health and wellness niche, continue doing that with Healy. Largely a home-based business, devoting my time that way is a huge help for me personally. Put a point in here about breathing, okay? Most people do not pause and breathe. A great exercise is count to 4 slowly on the in-breath, hold for 2, count slowly to 4 on the out-breath. You do that a couple times, and you're not doing it all day, all night. You're doing it maybe once an hour, maybe once a half an hour, whatever comes to you. Look for factual information. We're fed a lot of information that's just not true. This Dr. Rashid Buttar is at the top of my list. You can find him on YouTube. Find resources that resonate with you. You can count on me to bring very factual information to you about health and wellness, especially about the Healy. And I'll get to other resources at the end of this program. Okay, so we already talked about other things to eliminate stress. Healy restores cellular health and protects us. Okay, remember the minus 70 microvolts graph. There are specific programs for protection. For example, Pure is a program, is a feature in one of the programs called the Gold Package. The Gold Package is called a program. There are 15 other programs in Healy, and they each have versions. So Pure is in the Gold Package, the basic Healy edition. From the manual, here's what it says. It should help the orgasm to recover from the bioenergetic effect of environmental pollutants, toxins, an unhealthy diet, and other negative factors. I mean, how cool is that? Just that one feature helps us recover from all of that. And then if you saw the whole manual, you would see where it recommends people to start with the Pure program when they get their Healy. CARE is another program in the Gold Package. Look at this, preventing a multitude of bioenergetic disorders. Preventing a multitude of bioenergetic orders. So bioenergetics is the field in biochemistry and cell biology that concerns energy flow through living systems. I pulled that right off of Wikipedia when I looked it up because I wasn't sure that I could explain it very well off the top of my head. But that's a great definition. I hope that helps you understand. And again, back to CARE in the Gold Package, the basic Healy edition, preventing a multitude of bioenergetic disorders. Fantastic. So up here where I said, see, Healy restores cellular health and protects us. So CARE is a protection program. Pure is a restoration program. It helps the organism to recover from the bioenergetic effect of environmental pollutants, toxins, and unhealthy diet and other negative factors. So one program is a restoration program, another program is a protection program, and you'll find a lot of protection programs in Healy and a lot of restoration programs in Healy. This is a really cool slide from Dr. Bruce Lipton, if you're familiar with him, and he wrote the book, The Biology of Belief. And what he states, and he's a very experienced doctor, the cell that's in growth mode is impervious to disease. I apologize. Something's wrong with my ability to speak clearly at the moment. I think my phone going off the hook at the same time I'm trying to do this webinar is a little bit disruptive. And I don't know why that is the case. But anyway, let's continue. Really nice slide from Dr. Bruce Lipton. Thank you, doctor. Okay, more about Healy. Most of Healy is actually in your smartphone with one or more apps. There are more than 240 programs and over 300,000 frequencies. Again, it's the app on your phone. The apps on your phone have the programs. Those programs are connected to the information field and the internet cloud specifically developed by Healy. And the internet cloud developed by Healy is extremely secure. They have an audit on the security of their encrypted data every 3 months. They have to pass that audit or they won't be able to operate until they do. So they take this very, very seriously and don't work with any other companies. They have their own unique, distinguished cloud for this. You can select a program. You can select the program you feel you need. The programs for pain, protection, EMF, radiation from cell phone, cell towers, and sleep are especially popular. Note, not making any claims other than when the targeted frequencies are delivered to your body. Your body is assisted in making changes that help you. That's the only thing that I'm talking about Healy doing. The body takes over when it gets the right frequencies to restore cellular health and protect cellular health. The fourth, okay, there's 3 editions of Healy that run off the Healy app, one app. That's the Gold Package, Holistic Health, and Holistic Health Plus. The 4th edition, which is the Resonance app, takes the guesswork out and analyzes what your body needs and prioritizes the programs to run that day. In the notes to the presentation, I'll include some video links that will help you. And you'll see that one of the resources I have listed at the end is my YouTube channel. At my YouTube channel, Steve Pohlit, you will find a lot of Healy videos. I'm trying to treetop this for you so you get a perspective. What do I mean by when it takes the guesswork out of the process and analyzes what your body needs and prioritizes the programs to run that day? Well, when I open my Resonance app, I get to the screen that shows all the Healy programs, all 16 programs. And again, those 16 programs have, I'll call them chapters, just like I showed you 2 of them in the Gold Package. Well, at the end of that list, there's what's called an all program analysis. And I click on that and I run an analysis by basically holding my Healy in my one hand and pressing the phone screen in the other. And it's not really reading anything when I press the phone screen. The idea there is to set your intention. So that's what I do. And then up comes 5 programs. Out of all of the programs that you can select, out of the 16 programs, it brings up 5. So let's go back to the Gold program. Let's say that was one of the programs that are prioritized for today. Well, what I do is I then go back to the analysis app and I find the Gold program. I bring up the Gold program and I run an analysis on the Gold program. So when I do that, okay, I get a reading. I get a prioritization of the features of the Gold program that I need to run that day, and it's almost always 5. So let's say that Pure and Cure come up, and Balance comes up, and a couple other ones come up, and then I select the time that I want to run the app and the programs for the Gold Package, for the 5 features of the Gold Package. I select the time, let it, and start running it, and that's it. I let it go. My phone is near me. The Healy is either on me or near me, and that's how the Resonance app works. It's absolutely phenomenal. All right. Okay, so all Healys are wonderful. The Gold edition, the Gold Package, which is the basic package, has 144,000 frequencies. I mean, how cool is that? The most economical Healy has 144,000 frequencies. And will help you tremendously. Healy launched in the US on May 1st. They're already in 45 other countries. And as part of the launch promotion, they have special deals on Healys and that end on June 9th. Starting point is getting registered. So you register for free. The details on how to register, the notes to this video. Resonance is the only Healy that does analysis. In other words, when I went through the example before of how it prioritizes the programs to run, and then within the programs it prioritizes the features of that program to run, that's analysis. The other Healy editions do not do that. You have to select a program that resonates with you and what you feel might be helping you the most. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. It's just maybe not quite as optimal, from my opinion, as what the Resonance does. And I already talked about that being Resonance being a separate app. And I'll just mention that with the other Healy editions, there are electrodes and light cords that go from the Healy hardware to the electrodes, and the electrodes are either on your wrist or maybe some other area of your body. And cords are not used with the Resonance. Cords are not used with the Resonance. It's all frequency. It gets into your body from the cloud to the app to the Healy to you. The Resonance, this is pretty fascinating. The Resonance supports additional clients, people. So I'll use doctors as an example who see clients, patients. Okay, they can set a patient up on their Resonance app, and the Resonance app will help them evaluate what that person needs. And then they can run a program or have the patient use their own Healy to run programs at their own home. Many options with that. What's totally fascinating is, and I wasn't really focused on this till recently, where I heard the Resonance unit being used for a doctor who had a therapy dog in his clinic. And he used the Resonance unit for the dog, and the dog who was becoming, the doctor felt the dog was becoming depressed because it was not going into the clinic because the clinic wasn't open because of the virus and so forth. He ran a Resonance program on the dog, and the dog started becoming its normal self. I also see on that Resonance app, and I haven't done this, that you can run the analysis on a car, a room in your home or office. Remember, everything is energy. So I'm thinking that I'm going to do that on my car. I don't know what it's going to tell me, but I know that you can do that. You set up a client in your Resonance app, just like you would a person or a pet. Of course, some of the information for a car or a pet is not going to be available like it would be for a human. Okay, so every medical professional on my team uses the Resonance version of the app. And there's one feature the Resonance has in addition to analysis that the other editions do not. It has homeopathy remedies whose frequencies are sent to your body. Here's an example: amino acids. There are 6 more homeopathic categories whose frequencies are delivered to your body. That means you're not having to eat anything. You're not having to use any special products. The frequencies of those homeopathic remedies rather, are sent to your body. It's a really fascinating concept. And we'll expand on that concept in a later webinar when I start talking about the Healy Watch and digital nutrition app and so on. The major item of advice at the beginning of each session is with intention of the outcome. And you're reminded of that because a thumbprint or a fingerprint comes up on your phone. Again, it's not scanning your thumb or your finger. It's reminding you to focus your attention on the outcome that you want to experience. So for example, if I'm running the skin program, I intend to have smooth, youthful skin. That would be an intention. Not the only one that you could use, but that's one that I'm sharing with you to help you understand the intention of running the intention supporting running the Healy is really, really important. Okay, resources. Healy back office. When you register for free, you get access to the back office. Huge amount of resources, manuals, videos, training. There's Facebook Telegram groups where people are asking questions, where people help each other out. There's educational webinars by our general manager for the US, lead scientists from Healy and parent company Time Waiver every 2 weeks. Experienced partners in Healy, so I know who to call when I'm not sure about something, because they're more experienced than I am. My resources. So my name's Steve Pohlit without the space, and all the major social media accounts: YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and that's how you find me. YouTube, again, has a lot of Healy videos. My direct contact information, 727-224-4743. I encourage you that if you want to talk, schedule a meeting for asking questions or for additional clarification, text me first. We'll set up a time that's convenient and we'll go from there. Sometimes I'm available immediately, but not all the time. Then there's my email, and I think most of you who are on this webinar or watching it has this email because I sent out the link to the webinar. All right, so those are resources, and the resources are tremendous, and the people are tremendous. I can't say enough about that. And as you use your Healy, you learn more about health and wellness and physical health, emotional health, and spiritual health, actually. So with that, I'm going to bring this to a conclusion. There will be a recording that I will post on YouTube, and I hope this was helpful. It's helpful to me because, one, it causes me to pause to make sure that hopefully I'm somewhat organized in presenting to you this information, getting more familiar with Zoom. And so the more you do anything, the better you're at. So better are at it. Okay, there I go again, twisting my tongue. All right, thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching this. On YouTube, click subscribe and click the bell to like. Add your comments or questions. I'll be looking forward to those. And I will see you on the next webinar.